I will set my own height above the water. When it's very calm, I can get my feet in the water, the aircraft will sort of drag me along at slow speed, and I can use my feet to keep myself facing forward. When it's a big steep state like that yesterday, when there's quite a bit of swirl, then you really want to be above it rather than keep smashing through waves.
The RAF call this a wets drill, a simulated ocean rescue. Out at sea, a volunteer is dropped into the Med, and an 84 Squadron Griffin helicopter is sent to locate and rescue him.
When you've done the same sort of training in the North Sea in February at 1 in the morning, it's not the most enjoyable experiences, but it's never that bad here. However, yesterday there was a bit of a swell hitting the reef, and as you witnessed yourself, you know, it can create some quite big waves. In many cases, when you're quite experienced, you can use some of those waves as an advantage to yourself to help you sort of get height over the casualty, to place strops and stuff like that. But yeah, there's always the possibility that something will strike you when you don't want it to.
84 Squadron have conducted search and rescue, or SAR, here in Cyprus since 1973, carrying out hundreds of real-life rescues. Back in 2000, they were presented with bravery awards by the island's then president after a daring nighttime mission when they lifted 9 seamen to safety from their sinking ship. One of the other core roles for 84 Squadron is rescuing aircrew, including fast jet pilots who may have ejected into the sea. And with Akrotiri now the RAF's busiest airbase, thanks to Op Shader, it's a skill they practice a great deal. It happened for real in 1979. This photo of an 84 Squadron winchman, Sergeant Graham Goosey, was taken after a Lightning F6 jet crashed off the coast of Akrotiri. 84 Squadron also practice their own survival drills, making sure they know how to escape from a Griffin helicopter if it ditched in the sea.
The aircraft we operate does have a flotation gear, so that will automatically inflate on impact to the water. But that doesn't mean to say that we will be upright and the aircraft could invert but still remain on top of the water. So at that point, the aircrew will brace themselves for the impact, take a deep breath, wait for the water to fill up inside the cabin. Thereafter, they will jettison windows and doors and escape once they feel ready to. Get out, and then they'll inflate their life jackets. You can see that they've done today, and that will bring them to the surface of the water. And thereafter, all the pilots are given a single-seat life raft, individual issue, and then the rear crew, we do have a single-seat life raft as well, but more importantly, we'll use the 10-man dinghy you can see behind me there.
This workshop is home to 84's survival equipment section, known to the RAF as Squippers. They test and maintain all the clothing and rafts used by the squadron's pilots and winchmen.
At the moment, we have a multi-fab immersion suit on the table. This is currently undergoing maintenance by Corporal Allenson, who's just testing for leaks. This is a BA survival pack that our aircrew currently wear on 84 Squadron. If they ever have to ditch in the sea, they can take this with them. They then pull on the red toggle, which activates a CO2 gas cylinder, which then inflates the single-seat life raft, which provides them with thermal protection from the elements, which they can jump inside and await the arrival of another helicopter to come and rescue them.
After an hour at sea, the volunteer victim is plucked from the waves and the Griffin heads back to base. For the crews, there's one last job, a quick dip in a rather cold bath to rinse the sea salt from their survival suits. 4 decades after they arrived in Cyprus, 84 is the UK military's last SAR squadron and the only permanent RAF flying unit at Akrotiri. Small, unique and steeped in history, and as vital to this station as ever. Simon Newton, Forces News, RAF Akrotiri.